Welcome back. Today we are diving into something that sounds simple, but is, and I mean this, genuinely life-changing. It's called if-then planning, and it's all about taking your good intentions and turning them into powerful, automatic actions. Think of it as a serious upgrade for your brain. So let me just start with a crazy number. What if I told you that you could boost your chances of hitting your goals by up to 300%? You heard that right, 300%. This isn't some gimmick, it's a real research-backed number, and it all comes down to one simple mental trick. Kind of makes you want to know what it is, right? So let's talk about this 300% success trigger. This isn't just a catchy phrase. It's a method that's been studied pretty extensively, and it works because it taps directly into how our brains are wired. We're going to break down exactly how you can use it to get past one of the biggest roadblocks we all face, ourselves. Here's the secret sauce. This whole technique is about working with your brain, not against it. See, our minds naturally think in terms of cause and effect. If this happens, then I'll do that. It's a basic survival instinct. All we're going to do is hijack that natural programming and point it directly at our goals. The whole point here is to automate your brain's decisions. You know that moment of hesitation? That little pause where you decide whether to do the hard thing or just check your phone? That's where we lose the battle. This is about making the right decision before that moment even arrives, putting your success on autopilot. So let's give this a proper name, if-then planning. It is, very simply, a way to set up these little neurological tripwires in your brain. You're basically preloading your decisions. Instead of relying on willpower, which we all know can disappear, you decide way ahead of time exactly when, where, and how you're going to act. And you can see the difference, right? It's like night and day. On one side, you have those in-the-moment decisions. They burn through your willpower, they're super easy to distract, and they just lead to you overthinking everything. But on the other side, you've got if-then plans. The action is automatic, the trigger is already set. It's all about creating certainty instead of leaving things to chance. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do it? Well, it breaks down into a really simple, practical framework. We're going to call it the 3-step action anchor. And this is exactly what you need to start building these success triggers into your daily life. It's really just these 3 steps. That's it. First, you're going to pinpoint what makes you procrastinate. Second, you plan a smart, strategic move to counter it. And third, you get super clear on the details. Let's walk through each one. All right, step 1. Let's be honest with ourselves for a second. We all have that one task, or maybe a few, that we just keep putting off. That's your why. The trick is to find an X, a reliable everyday trigger, and link the two together. And here's what that looks like in the real world. If I finish lunch, that's your trigger, your X. It happens every day. Then I will immediately draft the client update. That's your task, your why. And that word immediately is key. No wiggle room, the trigger fires, the action happens. Boom. Done. Now, this isn't just for knocking out annoying little to-dos. This is where it gets really powerful. Step 2 is about taking your big, high-value goals, the important stuff, like building business relationships, and giving them a concrete, time-based trigger. Look how specific that is. If it is Friday at 3 p.m., you can't miss that. It's going to happen. Then I will send a personalized connection request. It turns a vague goal, like do more networking, into a concrete, scheduled action. This is how you make real, consistent progress on the things that actually move the needle. And finally, step 3. For the goals that matter most, you have to be absolutely crystal clear. Because vague plans lead to, well, vague results. You have to nail down the context by defining all the key details of what you're actually going to do. And it can be as simple as asking these 3 questions. Who are you going to contact? The director of HR. When are you going to do it? At the beginning of the month. And where or how will it happen? Via email. When you get this specific, you remove all the friction. When the trigger happens, there's nothing to think about. You just do it. Okay, we've gone through the why and the how. Now it's over to you. Let's make this real. It's time to think about creating your very first if-then plan, right here, right now. So I want you to really think about this for a second. What's that one daily distraction, that one thing that always pulls you off track? Maybe it's scrolling social media, maybe it's checking the news. What would a simple if X, then Y rule look like to shut that down for good? This is where the change really starts. You know, learning this stuff is the first step, but turning these insights into real, lasting habits, that's where the magic really happens. So if you're feeling fired up and you're ready to turn these ideas into action, there are definitely ways to keep that momentum going. If you're ready to really go deep and make this a core part of how you operate, the source material for this explainer highly recommends enrolling in the Positive Psychology Coaching course. And hey, make sure you come back for our next explainer. We're going to be tackling another huge topic, self-control under pressure. Thanks so much for tuning in.